Hey guys, so just to preface this whole thing, we're by no means a professional group of D&D players. I'm not a professional DM, and a lot of these guys are actually new to 13th Age in general. So don't be expecting some crazy deep storyline or some super intricate plot level. I'm just a guy who likes writing stories, and they're just a bunch of guys who likes ruining them. So if you're into that, if you're into a bunch of guys talking over each other, breaking some rules, and overall just having a really great time, then this is for you. So let's prepare to go on the most ridiculous and amazing adventure you've ever heard.
Leaving old man Jeb's house, and via his advice, you wind your way to the main street of Shades Port. The street widens, and you come to a major canal, spanned by a multitude of bridges. There seems to be an endless flow of harsh-looking men and rough-looking women, stopping at bazaars, visiting bars, talking shop on street corners, and leaning on various buildings, smoking all sorts of herbs and mixes.
Nice.
Suddenly, as you walk down the main canal towards the port, there's a sudden cry for help that rings out from one of the flat cargo ships that move back and forth crossing the canal. The ship breaks and cracks, and a man falls into the water while screaming for someone to help.
Can't swim.
Why are you looking at me?
I mean, I'm just like, you guys are like watching this happen. I can keep going, but
Keep
like,
going.
cool.
Yeah.
But no one else around has moved to help him. They're actually moving away from him as fast as they can to the side of the walls.
It's the bystander effect.
Suddenly, a large black-scaled appendage wraps around the poor cargo man, sucking him underwater, leaving behind a pool of red blood.
Oh, I could have saved him. I could have just sent my bird.
Meh.
Yeah, whatever.
Would he have been important?
No,
He has no cargo
I'm pretty sure he's
anymore.
just sacrificial pawn to show us that the monster's strong.
It's like, oh.
People begin shaking their heads and moving away from the edge of the water, and other boatmen are hurriedly removing their ships.
Who's the closest boatman to me?
Well, you see a group of them standing beside you, and you hear these kind of murmurs.
I grab one
Okay.
of them.
Yeah, and he goes, hello?
You, what was that thing?
Well, that was the thing that keeps attacking our ships.
Why does it attack people?
Well, I have no idea. It attacks once a day, and it's been doing it for the past 2 weeks. Sometimes ships are lost, sometimes men are killed. No idea. It just appeared one day. How does a monster appear in a floating island? I have no idea. Somebody must have brought it here. This is ridiculous.
I let go of him.
He leaves.
Thank you.
He goes back to his group, and you hear murmurs of like, this port is going downhill. If nobody stops that beast, it's going to be desolate in the next week. And then one other guy says, I hear that Rozo put it here. Summoned in from some dark dimension.
I grabbed the guy who said that.
He goes, oh!
What did you just say?
I said Rozo brought it.
What? Rosa! What did he do?
He probably shipped it in with some sheep's wool or something
He
and
wasn't
dumped
here?
it in a river. I don't know. He could be anywhere. You could disguise a ship and be somebody else. He wasn't here, but he probably sent his rookies in. This Shadesport has banned any Zeph Rozo pirate since he went on a rampage murdering pirates just ruthlessly. We have an agreement. As much as we're pirates and we fight each other, what he did, that is not okay. We are here to fight the UIA, and we're not together, but I mean, Zeph Rozo would kill men and women and children. I mean, the pirate's code, you fight men. You don't kill women. You don't kill children. That's just not what we do. And he shrugs you off.
I look at Abe. If that beast is Roso's, it has to die.
Sure, I guess.
So as you guys walk past them, one of them, you hear a couple chuckles and he goes, has anyone heard of his wife needs some comforting? And then another guy says, ugh, I wonder if that thing is the reason the water has been growing so smelly and stagnant recently. And then their murmuring kind of fades off as you walk down.
You follow it.
Follow the what?
The murmuring people.
Well, they're behind you. Like, they're in the group that he started ripping NPCs out of me.
We follow the group?
They're standing there. You were literally like here. They were there. You walked past them. Now you're back. What are you doing?
Oh,
Yeah.
we're moving away.
You're
from
moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just like huddled in one of the crowds.
Okay.
So I asked Lovak, how do you plan on taking this thing out?
We ask Iron Eyes, he probably knows.
So you don't have a plan.
I have a plan, but it's not a good one.
What's your not good plan?
Jump in the water!
That's not.
I don't
a
think
good
we
plan.
know enough to make a plan for it.
Iron sights will know what to do.
You said iron eyes and iron sights. Which one is it?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Same thing.
As you get to one of the main bridges, which is one of the bigger bridges that you've seen, you
What a
cross
nice
it,
bridge.
and now you're in the main square just in front of the pier. So if you imagine, I'm
What
going
a
to
nice
lay out
square.
what the whole area looks like. The whole area is like a big cupped dome, so there's actually like water that has been brought up for centuries, and it's just sitting in there. That's why there's a canal, and that's why all this stuff's there. And it doesn't overflow the edge, it's just held. So as you fly in your ship, you enter into this like U-shaped port that they have set up with a pier. There's the major canal, Jeb's house, okay, the old orphanage. You guys have walked down the canal, across the bridge, and now you're in a square over here just above the port, if that makes sense. Yeah? No?
Well, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Is there a way to tell time? Like, are there watches in this world?
There's no watches or anything or any way to tell time.
Okay.
They sort of stoke the bonfire accordingly. So, like, it's at its biggest during the midday, and it's at its smallest.
What does it look like right
Just
now?
like a sundial. But
Right now, it's fading down. So it was at its biggest, now it's getting pretty low.
Okay, so it feeds near the evening.
We should head back.
I thought that's what we're doing.
I thought we were just still standing there.
You're all literally standing
Yeah.
beside the people who have murmured.
Oh,
And
okay.
not really
moved.
shoved away awkwardly.
Let's head back to Iron Sights.
Across one of the main bridges links up to the main square just in front of the pier. The massive square has various stalls set up, lots of pirate crews gathering around bars and such, and statues of various legendary heroes. One specific statue that seems half completed had a tarp over its torso, obscuring its face.
Is there anyone working on him right now?
No, just
No
the tarp's
one
there. People don't really like to stand around it.
I tear the tarp off.
Okay,
I have a bad feeling
first
about
off, you
this.
walk up to it. Are you rolling a dex or a stealth?
No.
Okay, so you reach up and you grab the tarp and roll a strength check for me.
Oh, I got this. 9.
Plus all your stuff? Okay, so you tug
I
at
rolled
it.
really bad.
You tug at it, and it kind of doesn't flip, but what the piece of the tarp that was over the face flips down, and you go cold. It's the face of Zephyro.
I take my swords out.
You're gonna cut a statue.
I smash this. I want to smash the statue.
Do it.
No, I'm not gonna reach for this. Crit.
Wow. So you take your swords, and in a blinding rage, you do an amazing one-shot slice, and the whole statue just slides off and falls down. And you hear an uproarious, "Ah, kill him! Get rid of him!" And like from all the pirate crews around them. And just at that time, like a construction crew kind of walks up, and they go, "Huh, well," and they're holding like hammers and like stuff. They're like, "We were actually gonna take that down today, but I mean, thanks, buddy." And they pay you 10 gold pieces.
Hey!
And then they cart the whole statue off. And then
Can I keep the head of the statue?
I mean, yeah, buddy, I guess. I mean, this thing was supposed to commemorate how awesome and amazing and legendary Zephyrosa was, but when he went on that rampage 5 years ago, things changed in the pirate world. Here. You are now carrying a 30-pound piece of cement.
I have plans for this piece of cement.
He's gonna keep it in his room entirely.
Oh
Thank you.
god.
As the construction crew wander past you, they pass by a large row of 6x10 huge kind of notice boards. They start at one end of the square and semicircle all the way around to the other end of the square.
Alright, so I'll take a look at the notice boards, specifically looking for our names, Iron Sight's name, and Rosa.
The board was less of a single board and more of a string of 6x10 boards that were each ordained along the sides with mighty ships and mythical creatures rising out of the border itself. Wanted posters are placed in neat rows, the accurate sketches being done by some of UIA's top sketch artists, though some of them are very wrong of the way they look, the wrong portrayals, due to the nature of the information they receive. Battle-scarred soldiers often skew the facts to explain why the specific individual was needing a poster and not a noose. The furthest right of the boards held the most wanted criminals, the maniacs, the warlords, the gods. The leftmost board were the new crews, the tiny criminals, the petty thieves, the up-and-comers. The not ranked by crews, but by individuals, only those that had reached a certain threshold of notoriety even had a chance to make the board. Where are you going to look?
I'm gonna look at the newbies.
The
See if we're
newbies?
on there.
Nah, we're the god likes.
You're going to the god side?
No.
You guys all wander up to the left side?
Can I use my 2 chances to use my bird instead where I am right now?
Sure.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not.
Oh, see, because then it makes you think about it. It's not that bad of a nerve. On the furthest left board as you look is Woody. Nearly the lowest value represented of $2 million. Woody is wanted for murder,
That's pretty good money, man.
treason,
Oh, yeah.
and an assault of a UIA staff and properly ranked number 107.
Do I get money if I kill myself? My nose looks big on that picture.
You're next of kin.
Still on the first board, just a few steps ahead above Woody, sits Ape, with a hilariously odd photo of a man wearing a suit of armor. With a bounty of $3 million, he is charged with coordinating a direct assault on a government cargo ship, firing at a vessel bearing
I
UIA
remember
insignia,
that. Yeah.
murder, and theft.
Murder?
I mean, I'm assuming your cannons killed people.
It's not even my picture.
You do not see Lovac on the leftmost board.
What? Oh.
Oh, he's on the right.
What about Iron Sights?
He's nowhere to be seen.
Okay.
Are you checking like along the next board or the board?
The
after that?
newbie board.
So there's, if you think about it, there's like, say, 15 posters on one.
Yeah.
John is like second to last with 2 million. So either you're not even worth anything, or you're probably on the next board.
Okay, so we'll go to the next board.
The middle of the board, beside Woody and Abe's, is Lovac, with an unrealistically high bounty of 10 million.
Ooh.
He sits second from the top. Sorry, with second from the top of that middle board. His portrait
Feel like Luffy.
is the most accurate, even bearing the third sword in his mouth.
Does it have my eye patch?
You have an echo?
Yeah, I'm one-eyed.
Oh, wow. Charges of treason and murder were aligned with bordering and murdering a high-ranking Thormish official and causing the indirect death of a Thormish noble. He is also charged with coordinating the joint attack of the Rozo pirates and the Iron Eyes pirates.
Wait, what? Say that again?
He is also charged with coordinating the joint attack of the Rozo pirates and the
those
Iron Eyes pirates.
Motherfuckers.
Oh, they're blaming you.
How dare they? Who's above me? You said I'm second last.
Above you?
Yeah. Or you said I'm second.
Yeah, so I was sorry, I misread what I wrote. So you are like middle, the next board.
I'm in the center of the board.
Yeah, you're in the middle of the board, not
Okay.
the bottom right, but you're in the middle of the next board.
Okay.
Just above you is some guy with like beautiful looking hair. Like it just goes up, it's perfectly coiffed. Like this guy's portrait rendering looks like a female, but he's a man with like a pretty
There's one of those.
beautiful mustache.
He's like Mashigi.
It's really interesting. But yeah, he's wanted for 10,500,000.
Is Iron Eyes on the board?
As you guys walk down to the right, you eventually find Raynar's portrait, and he has an impossibly high bounty of 200 million.
Holy shit.
And if you read the fine print, this is what he's wanted for. Coordinating his crew to steal the majority of a Zealish prince's money while sleeping with his wife and causing his entire household to rebel and move all their foodstuff to the holding of the people in need at the local city.
Oh.
He's also wanted for organizing a religious cult in a small island community in Thorm that eventually led to an uprising and reorganization of the entire leadership of Thorm. He benefited from 2% of all the donations in the church, but made sure that church helped focus on helping the poor. He did multiple raids of tax money from officials' ships and carts that eventually ended up going to the poor, murdering a string of Rikosian officials who eventually were linked to the distribution of highly addicted drugs to poor workers, and escaping from prison 23 times.
We work for Robin Hood.
Robin.
He
Iron
also,
Eyes.
there's also one of his biggest and most recent ones is issuing a public challenge to the new king of Rikos during his coronation speech, explaining that he's too young to shave, he's too young to dip, and that he's too young to dip his feet in a man's world. He bared his bum and escaped through the Rikosian crowd, leaving the island.
I moved them. Alright. The God board.
As you walk over to the god board, it's a bunch of men that you do not recognize. A lot of them are really old and tattered, so there really hasn't been much movement on that side of the board. Are you looking for anyone specific?
You know who I'm looking for.
He's not there.
Really?
Yeah. There is a space on the bottom right, the very last that has been completely empty. No one's there.
Interesting.
He's not on any of the boards.
Not on any of the boards. neither of any members of his crew. So that's why you notice when you take a step back, there's lots of holes kind of throughout the board. It's like any member of the Zeph Rozo pirates were deemed too dangerous or too, like, evil to even go after, so they just ripped them off the board.
We could have cashed them in. We could have cashed those dead guys in that we just killed.
He's in cahoots with the UIA, whatever they're called.
The Zeph Rozos?
And that's why there's no
he's
wanted.
in charge of it.
That's why there's no bounty. He wouldn't put a bounty on himself.
Yeah. Or he could, and he'd lure us in.
You can lure me in anyway. Trigger me.
It's true, he just stands
Just
there.
like every Vayne player, Drinkers.
Every Vayne player.
Oh, he's drinking! Yeah! Sorry, I have a guinea pig I just bought them today.
Did they have the little the bottle thing with
Yeah.
the bottle at the end? Then...
The tab, they just lick it and it comes out.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are in the square
Mhm.
with all the posters, and directly behind you is like the sort of not really bustling port, and your ship is there. You can kind of see it from here.
Alright, I'll look for... Is Ironside's back?
You don't see him around you, but he could be at the ship.
I'm gonna... What was his name? I yell, "Oi! Wine!"
He's lolly.
Are you at the ship now?
I'm near it.
No, like if you imagine the square.
Yeah.
So like if
You
this.
can just see the ship.
Yeah. So the ship's probably like 300 meters away.
Alright, I'm gonna have to walk to the ship
Yeah.
first.
So you guys are heading to the ship.
Yeah.
That's true.
Cool.
But I don't want to board that one.
So the Diskellian already has some workers applying some fixes to the hull and cannon areas. A short, rotund man with a bald head and glasses, sporting a rather large mustache, walks up to you and shakes your hand. The name's Klein. Just here overseeing Jeb's plans. I already met with Iron Eyes, and he already knew where the money went, so he distributed already. But do you have that letter?
Were you born in the 1920s?
No, don't worry about it. The name's Klein.
Yeah, see?
I give him the letter.
What's your partner, Calvin?
Perfect, thank you. Who's Calvin? Sounds like a loser who wear underwear in public. We're on a schedule to leave by dawn's morrow, so hopefully 2 dawns from now we'll leave. As you guys look around, you can see that Iron Eyes is up on the deck of the ship, kind of overseeing everything that's happened.
Alright, I'll walk up to him.
Cool.
Ironsides,
Hey, how's it going?
there's a beast in the water.
You mean that thing that everyone's talking about?
Oi, it's owned by Rozo.
How did you find that out?
The,
It was
ran- the,
speculated as that.
the random people walking around told me.
I was talking to one of my old friends who runs an orphanage, and she was telling me that just 2 weeks ago this thing appeared, and that it's been causing havoc to the cargo ships, and people have been going missing left, right, and center. Have you heard about the bounty?
I
Oi,
asked him,
I've heard about the bounty.
why is there an orphanage at a pirate's cave?
Because, do you hear what happened 5 years ago? Zeph Rozo just ruthlessly murdered people in a Shadesport. You do not do that. It was horrendous.
He broke the law.
He broke the code. We don't follow the law.
The pirate law.
Oh, yes, okay, I understand what you're saying now. It was horrendous. That is one of the many orphanages for pirate children. I mean, they're not going to be able to go back to society. They'll just become street rats. And die, probably.
I know a street rat. He didn't die.
Oi, I know Street Rat is one of the finest pirates I know.
He's just bad at dancing.
If you're talking about Woody, I know Woody too, guys, okay? He's a really good guy.
High five. High five. High five. Hypothetical high
Wouldn't
five.
have it without you, Woody.
Jeez.
The beast must die if it belongs to Rosa.
I completely agree. I believe I need to stay here and overlook some of the repairs on the ship. However, if you catch wind of where this thing is, I will come personally myself and fight it with you.
Why don't we use the ship to fight it?
The ship is huge and bulky, and the area that we're in, if it comes here, I'd love to point one of the cannons at it.
Oh,
But the
I wanna make
chances,
like,
the
can we
chances
make
of
like
it,
a little ship?
a little ship. You see what happened to ships that go in that water.
Can we lure the monster to where we can shoot it?
Yeah.
Here's my understanding of monsters.
Ooh.
They have habitats and they have places that they sleep. I think if we asked around
Some just
town a
in the
little
water.
bit, we might be able to tell where this thing has been striking the most, and maybe bait it or rule it out or pull it somewhere.
I have an idea, Iron Sights.
Don't jump in the water.
I pull out the Rozo head. I have something that looks like its master. It'll respond to this.
Now I have a question for you. There's a lot of reaching going on in your statement here. For one, this is a monster. Okay, Zeph Rozo, as magical as he is, I believe he's a human. Training a monster? I don't know if that even happened. Personally, what I think happened is that he took the monster and dumped it in the river and left. Kind of like releasing a lot of hornets. You don't tell him where to go. You just leave after you've done it.
But in that case, the monster would hate him too.
I don't think the monster hates anybody. I think it's a monster, and it kind of just eats things. Did you look into things so deeply, my friend? Here, I hear that there's lots of places where there's lots of people who are willing to talk. There's bars, bazaars, even inns where people would be able to say some stuff to you. It's almost nighttime. You might as well go out and enjoy the night, and by tomorrow, we'll take a look for this thing.
I'll take a look now! And then I walk.
Okay.
You're so proactive.
You're so proactive.
You need to calm down.
Man, do you have something you want to do after the session?
I
or-
can't.
Just wanna-
I'm triggered.
so good. So, what do you guys want to do?
I go to a bar. I say,
It's a lot.
Woody, you want to go to the bar? I hear there are women.
I'm down. Will there be dancing?
Only if you want there to be.
I'll watch.
Iron Eyes calls down from the ship. Oi! The best bar around here is the Vermilion Minotaur. Give it a try.
Vermilion City, let's go.
I'm on my way to Vermilion City. So you guys make your way there.
Hey, I know you don't drink.
Is
Do you
that
want
the
to come?
intermission?
Sure. I'll gather some information about.
The monster.
Nah, just my
Alright,
own
Get
stuff.
people. Actually, we can probably gather like a bunch of people to help us through this.
Yeah, dude, just throw them in the river.
Also, that was another one
Use
of my
them as
plans.
bait.
Use someone as bait.
Yeah.
So as you guys make your way down through the town, the Vermilion Minotaur is right off the main stretch. So like that major canal, there's the Vermilion Minotaur right there. It's got a pretty big sign. It's like a cow, but it's standing on its legs. You guys have heard of Minotaurs, though. They're in
not
storybooks
Vermilion,
and fairy tales, but not Vermilion. It's a beautiful color. As you go inside, it's a quaint area with a fire aglow in the corner. Lots of tables are taken up by burly-looking men and rough-looking women. The bartender is a slight man with his hair pulled back in a long ponytail. His beard is cut tight in a tight line that started his mid-cheek and ends in a pointed tuft. with his
He's a
It's
hipster.
you.
His eyes are hidden by the glare of the firelight reflecting off his glasses.
Oh my god, he wears glasses.
I go to Mr. Barkeep. Barkeep,
Hello.
one drink. I cop 3 drinks. 2 drinks. I forgot he can't drink.
Will do. And he kind of pours one drink and gives you another drink. You know, we have larger glasses. If you wanted 3 right off the bat, you could have had one.
No, it's okay.
It's for sharing.
I'm sure. I give one to Woody.
Oh, so
Yeah.
he is he at the bar or at the
Yeah.
door?
I
No,
went.
I don't know.
Oh, you guys are sitting together?
Yeah.
Ah.
Can he fit in a stool?
Yeah, you're like
He's
just
about
you're like a very
person-
like
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's human sized.
there are some big men
He's
out
just an
there.
android.
Oh, so like Alphonse already.
Yeah, so he sits down. I go, okay,
Forward.
2 for you. You want one? Sure. Here you go.
Excellent.
You drinking anything, big guy?
No. Yes. No.
Water?
Yes.
Motor oil.
No.
Okay.
What
you
can
guys
you?
have?
I'll wait till you know what you want.
No.
Do you guys
What can
have
you-
some sort of lube to lube him up?
Let's not talk
I'm
about
his engineer.
Oh,
Yeah.
oil?
Yes, oil or
If you want oil, I'd go to the bazaar. This is for liquor, alcohol, water, anything really. Tropical beverages.
anything but no oil.
it's a worth.
I've never really had a request for oil
It's a
before.
worthy shot.
I mean,
What can you tell me about the monster in the rock in the water?
he
Oh,
grabs a
right
glass
down
and
to
he starts
business.
cleaning.
Wait, let's toast first. Cheers,
Oi, kanpai.
buddy.
Well, I guess you guys are drinking or whatever. He's looking at you. And
I'm not.
He walks over, he serves another customer,
can't.
and he comes back and he goes, I know only a little about the rumors of the beast. People who come to this, like
Sure,
this
he would
bar
know a lot.
specifically, don't really want to speak too much about it. They're a little more reserved. But I do know that it only started attacking people a little over a week ago. And men have started to organize some parties against it, but none of them have returned. So, popular belief is either this thing hopefully just dies on its own, if it doesn't get fed, or people just start leaving the port.
Do you know where it usually eats?
I've seen a lot of activity come from the major main canal, but most of the disappearances have occurred somewhere near Old Man Jeb's place, but a little further down.
Jeb. Another drink.
Another
There you
drink.
go.
Wait, you've already gone through the 2?
Yeah, I went through the 2 already. Just
Okay,
leave it
roll a
back.
Constitution check.
Oh, you're already
D20.
drunk.
Dude, I got a dead family. I got a drink for 3. 9.
Plus all your stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
Please roll
you're
that.
very buzzed, but that just makes you a little more gentler. Roll a d100. 50 up, you're an angry. 50 down. You're sad.
I'm angry most of the time. 57.
You're frustrated drunk. But you're buzzed, so you're floating right now. Apparently, the major pirate crews are threatening to abandon this place, which would drive everyone and my business to the ground.
I chuckle. We're the only major pirate crew that you need.
What crew are you from?
We are the Iron-Eyed Pirates.
Oh, the Iron-Eyed Pirates! You know, you've become somewhat of a little local hero around here. You're sticking it to Rozo. No one's done that in a long time.
I scratch my nose.
Yeah.
He'll be dead in no time.
If you guys are looking for more information on this creature,
You're
though,
literally an anime character.
Yeah.
you should talk to the old lady who works down in the bazaar down the way.
How old is this lady?
She's close to her end.
And
She's
how-
at 60-ish.
How bizarre is this?
He's close to her end.
Wow.
I guess olden days.
Yeah.
How long can we wait before she dies?
Yeah.
A bazaar.
Like, do we have
A
time?
bazaar is like a shop or a
Is
marketplace.
it still open?
And she lost her husband to the creature just a week ago.
Oh.
Would her shop
go,
still be
John.
open?
Oh yeah, the bazaar runs late into the night.
She's
One
single.
more to go, Barky.
So you're saying
Absolutely.
she's single?
Does she
She
like
is
dancing?
single, Woody. She is
I
single.
flick him a gold piece and then make my way.
I hope I'll see you around.
Buddy. Wait, have you...
It's not even tipped. It's just how much
That's a
the
pretty
drinks
big tip.
were.
That's a pretty big tip. And honestly, he calls up before you leave and goes, honestly, I really hope that someone would stand up against this thing. I've owned this bar from my dad, and my dad's owned it from his dad. I really don't want it to go under.
I have a plan brewing, but I don't think everyone will
Does it involve
What's
the
your plan?
cooperate. Well, we could stage like an evacuation. Eventually it has to come out. And then it would like work for people.
I'll like just evacuate the whole
Yeah,
port.
yeah. Evacuate the whole port. and
I
then
highly
come
doubt
out.
that you're going to
Good
organize a
traffic.
bunch of pirates.
I don't
to-
think
Well,
they
you know,
believe
that's
that.
the thing. It's like I don't think people would cooperate.
No, but it's a good idea. Like, I like that you're thinking.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, we could stage an evacuation. Like everybody has the same goal to get rid of that thing, right?
mhm. Some people just want to leave. They wouldn't want to bother with it, though.
Oh, yeah, they're leaving anyway. So.
So you guys head out of the bar?
Yeah, we're gonna
the
see
bazaar?
old lady Meredith.
So you walk down the street, you remember you pass by this bazaar that smells and all that stuff.
Why does it smell?
Because there's spices.
It's
So
homeless people.
the
It's
smell
a
of
good smell.
really good. It's like, I don't know, what I
She's
like
skunky.
Raj's little spice kitchen, like when they're cooking up a storm in there, like, yeah,
It smells like sweat and onions.
a little bit.
Do the rock. Do the rock thing. What's cooking?
Oh.
The smell of spices and leather rides up to meet you as you enter. The wall is lined with various wares, cooking supplies, adventure supplies, and all of the like. A grizzled old lady sits behind the counter on a high stool, eyes looking through a single appraisal scope at a diamond. She sighs and puts the single diamond in a large pile of apparent rejects.
My lady.
She goes, just
Took your
one,
fedora.
just 1 second, young man. Puts it down and looks at you. Can you come closer? I can't see you very well.
60 isn't that old.
No, you don't understand. My eyesight is not from age. It's from all the time I've spent looking at tiny stones. My vision has become short-sighted. I can see you if you just move a little closer.
I move closer.
Oh, you're a handsome one.
I used to be. I have a freaking giant scar on my eye.
And you have an eye patch covering
And,
half your face.
Yeah.
So what brings you here? You want to look at my wares?
Oh,
I'll browse. I'll browse while they talk.
Cool.
we want to know
I was
about
gonna
the
say-
monster.
You mean the beast in the lake?
Oi.
Does this beast have a name?
Well,
What do you call it?
I don't know what I call it, but I mean, it's only been a couple weeks. No one's really known to call it anything except fear and horror.
Let's
But
call it the fear monster.
My husband died to that
The
thing.
fear is a good name.
Fear.
You can call it the fear. I think that's very apt. Because I was with him when he died. But my eyesight, being as bad as it is, I was in the back of his boat when he was out rowing along the dark lake, trying to pull up various treasures and refuse from the bottom of the lake.
How did you survive?
I'll explain my story.
Please keep talking. I'm just good at interrupting people.
Thank you, young Woody.
Wait, how did you?
How do you know his
she
name?
His name.
Who?
How does she know his name?
I don't know. Thank you, young Woody. It was because he's got a heart up in it now. He's just sticking up. He's just like, wow, that's...
You're very attractive.
Wait, how can
old
she
woman.
see?
It's pretty close to her face, I guess.
See, you can see this. You can see this nice and clear.
Oh, no. Oh.
Come on, we're all standing here.
Have some decency.
A couple customers who were looking at have now left. They whisper something about, I thought this wasn't a brothel and just left. I was in the back of my husband's boat and was pulling up oddities from the bottom of the lake that we could find to sell. Suddenly my husband swore and I heard something drop in the water. He must have dropped his rod that he was fishing with. And I saw him lean over the edge of the boat to try to get his rod that had fallen in. But when he was reaching down, he suddenly froze. He looked at me and tried to say something, but I just couldn't read his lips in the darkness. But then his pallor changed. Then the boat started sinking like something really heavy was slowly being poured in. My husband, gasping, was suddenly turning a slate color of gray. He turned to stone. No one believes me, but I had to. I had to do it, so I pushed him out of the boat. I looked at his blank stare, perfect creation of my husband's image, as he dropped to the bottom of Dark Lake. I rowed all the way back to shore as fast as I could and ran home crying. I don't know what happened to my husband, but something cursed him, and it lives in that lake. You're strong men, aren't you? You could kill that monster, right?
I could kill anything.
I don't know what caused my husband to turn to stone, but I do know that if it's some crazy, weird creature that Zeph Rozo brought to this town,
Rozo!
then somewhere there might be something about it. You should go check around some of the libraries, or I hear the innkeeper is pretty good at book knowledge, but before you go, please, if you're going to fight this thing, you might want to check out some of my stuff that I have to sell. And you've been looking at it. Do you guys have any other questions for her before she moves on?
I was gonna hit her, but
Wait, why would you hit her?
she said Rozo.
Why do you punch
so
people
just
who
hit
say this for a
everyone
guy's
that
name?
says-
You're too triggered. So she kind of like shows you everything, and there's a bunch of random knickknacks and stuff that isn't important and armor that doesn't really fit you. But here's stuff that you can buy: healing potions, 50 gold pieces each. It gives you a recovery plus 1d8 upon taking it. There you go. A medium ammo case, 32 spare bullets over 16, 8 spare large bullets over 4, 150 gold pieces.
I can't use it.
Various pieces of items that looks like scrap metal and various things that you probably think comes from Jeb. And you can pick through those. And for that, pretty much just tell me what you're imagining and I'll put a price to it. And kind of tucked in back in a bookshelf when you were looking around, you found a strange knife made of super metallic metal. Like it's like super shiny and glimmery on the back shelf shoved between some floral plates. It emanates a strange glow, but it seems to be made of some hyperlight material. Its surface shines so much that you can actually see your eyes in it, which is really interesting. It does the same damage as your normal weapon, but gives a permanent +1 to attacks. And that is worth roughly 200 gold.
Oh, I
pieces.
can see how you can use that.
Yeah.
You reflect the petrification gaze
Yeah.
with that metal.
How much are you selling the scraps for?
Oh, it depends what you want. There's tons of scraps lying around there.
These really interesting looking stainless steel.
Oh, you mean the metal?
Golettes.
That's just old reflective metal. I don't know. I have that there because Jeb dumps everything on me. People usually use it to repair house roofs and stuff. I don't know, 5 gold pieces for the whole lot. I don't care.
Excellent.
Perfect.
I'll grab them for you.
Yeah, I'll bundle that up. She tosses you like a leather sack.
Do you have any swords?
No, but I do have oil of anointing.
Alright.
So you want something for weapons? Is that correct?
I
Well, here I have some bottles filled with oil of anointing. Each bottle, 75 gold pieces, but it adds a +1 to weapon attacks for 5 minutes.
And how many weapons does one bottle cover?
It would cover. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It would. How many weapons do you use? Let me see.
3.
Oh, easily. Those blades are thin. It's good.
And what if I covered him in the oil?
Well, then you'd be very, very, very.
I don't know how I'd feel about that.
Yeah, you gotta ask him.
Would it affect him? Is what I'm asking.
No, this is for weapons specifically.
He is a weapon.
You
I
won't
am
rust
a
if you
I
cover
mean, you
it
could
with
put
oil.
it on his weapons.
You could lube the weapons. Make them
75 gold pieces. Why don't you buy it? I don't care what you do with it.
Well, we don't want to buy it and not know what it does.
If you threw it on your weapons, it would, of course, increase it magically.
What if
Sorry,
I throw
what
it
does
on
it
my
do
bird?
A +1 to attacks for 5 minutes.
Can we do like
Or a battle.
some sort of check to identify.
And one
it.
bottle would cover all 3 of my swords, but I'm assuming that would consume the whole bottle.
Yeah. We do like a lore check to try and identify the ale.
It's oil of anointing. That's what it's called.
Oil of anointing.
Can we make our own oil? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, it's like
She wants to know if he's getting duped.
not.
I buy 2.
Okay, so make sure you're keeping track of that.
I buy the
price-wise.
medium ammo case.
Okay.
How much was that again?
Medium ammo case was 150 gold pieces.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm broke if it's 200.
But that's not all. There are potions of resistance of poison, fire, and ice. What they do is you drink this potion, and any creature using any elemental attack will fail unless it's a natural 16 plus to hit.
I'm out of gold.
75 gold.
Pretty low on gold too.
29.
I also have these random supplies that I've just brought in recently. Large torches that are 5 gold pieces each, and this interesting new development from Jed called a flare gun. You pop it and it'll light up an area for almost the whole round.
Can I use flare guns?
Yeah, you just pull this fancy trigger and it shoots out a
Yeah, but
blinding flare.
hands.
You have one hand, remember?
Oh,
You have
right.
that one little navigation hand thing that can do stuff. That was only 10 gold pieces. The torches are 5.
Would the flare do damage?
I don't think so much as damage, but I do know the lake is dark.
How many flares does one gun hold?
One gun does 2 flares.
How much for spare flares?
Spare flares? Oh, you mean the ammunition?
Aye.
Oh, I'll give you a pack of 6 for 10 gold pieces more.
Alright.
Perfect.
Give her 20 more.
Wonderful doing business with you.
I'll buy a flare gun too.
Perfect. Do you want spare ammo?
Wait, how much would the flare gun?
$10.
Oh, it's 10?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
So 20 in total for you, young man.
Sure.
How you doing over there?
I'll buy the same thing he bought.
Oh, perfect.
So how much ammo do I have in total then?
So you have like what, $6 left?
56.
Oh, nice.
How much is torch?
Oh yeah, 56.
Torch,
Torches are
$5.
5 gold pieces.
I have
They
one.
last an hour.
That's an hour? Up to.
How much spare ammo did I get again?
You got 5.
5, so 7 in total.
Yeah. Sorry, that's all I have. But I do know that my nephew, who runs the inn, is really knowledgeable about monsters. He's been a book collector for many centuries, and apparently he's been looking into whatever this thing is. So,
He's been alive for centuries?
did I say centuries?
Aye.
No, books that are centuries old. You misheard me.
I don't miss here.
I would recommend, you can do whatever you want, talking to him and maybe gaining some insight, but you could rush in and try to fight this creature itself. But what I have heard and what I've seen myself is that this thing sleeps at night and stays awake during the day. But where it sleeps, nobody's ever seen it during the night.
Do you know where it hunts?
Well, it hunts anywhere there's water. But I know that most attacks have come from the lake. Is that all for all of you?
Yes.
Well, thank you for your business. Does anyone have any gems or anything you'd like me to appraise for you or anything?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Oh,
maybe John does. John D. I mean Woody.
John B.
John D's. Jaundice.
Interesting.
No, I don't have any.
Well, if you don't have anything, that's fine. But one day, if you do, come see me.
Do you have like scrap pieces of glass and stuff?
Oh yeah, they're over there. You can get a couple bags for 10 gold pieces.
I'll grab a couple bags. Man, I'm poor.
Shall we?
You had the most money out of any of us.
Yeah.
But
That's true. I used.
His weapon costs 200 bucks.
yeah,
Shall we visit the inn?
I thought we were going to a library.
Oh, sorry, no. The inn has one of the largest collections of books.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Shadesports have ever had libraries.
Of course, they're pirates. Who reads?
If she's right about the beast and it can turn man into stone, we will need to do some research. Start walking towards the inn, assuming I know where it is.
You know where it is?
No.
Would you like to know? She's a successful businessman.
She said nephew, but okay.
Yep, my nephew. So my he's a very successful businessman, my nephew,
It's called Shadesport for a reason.
and has in the square. Have you been to the square?
Aye.
Well, that's where he is.